From the Opelco Studios in Oklahoma City, it's signing day 2014. Jason Kersey, OU beat writer, joins us on the phone. And Jason, you are south of the Red River today. Have gone to a couple signing ceremonies already. Your day started at Mesquite Horn. Talk about Jonathan Alvarez getting a chance to meet the Sooner commitment.
Yeah, Jonathan Alvarez, offensive line commit. Got a chance to talk to him and his parents. This day was extremely special to them. He woke up as early as he could, signed the letters, faxed it in, and when OU tweeted out that it was official and his name was on there, his mom broke down in tears. So it's a very big day for that family. A kid that is only a two-star prospect. He feels like, his parents feel like, and his high school coach feels like he's a lot better than that. And I think Bill Bedenbaugh feels that way too. That's why they signed him. So it's very, very neat to be there for that moment for that family.
Yeah, it sort of reminds you just how special signing day is for a family that gets to see their son or a daughter in some cases, when you're talking about other sports, go on to play college athletics, all that hard work paying off in a big way. Jonathan Alvarez, by the way, 6'3", 301, will be playing offensive line for the Sooners, we presume. And then you went over to DeSoto, Jason, to see Vontre McQuinney, who he has an interesting story, interesting backstory that got him to this signing day, doesn't he?
Yeah, Vontre McQuinney played most of his high school career at Lancaster High, but in the middle of his senior year, transferred to DeSoto. It's right next to Lancaster. His family moved here, and he sort of made the decision that he wanted to come here. Had to sit out a few games, but made an immediate impact with the team, and they certainly were glad to have him. I asked the coach, what his thoughts were when Vontre transferred, and he said, "I didn't ask any questions. I just made sure it was legal, and then it was fine." So it was kind of an interesting day getting to talk to him, and he said that they haven't talked too much to him about expectations. The main thing that Mike Stoops has wanted to see from him is leadership, and he said that that's just sort of the way he is. He's a vocal guy, and that's sort of what allowed him to assimilate in a new environment the way that he did in the middle of his senior season.
Another guy that was over there is Oklahoma State commitment Chris Lacey. But talking a little bit more about Vontre McQuinney, 6'1", 204 defensive back. Do you project him to play one of those cornerback spots, Jason, or is he more of a safety candidate?
I think he's more of a safety, and I actually think that his body type and his skills sort of makes him a candidate maybe to play nickel in the OU defense. They always have that fifth defensive back out there. Julian Wilson's played it, Gabe Lynn's played it, and that's sort of Tony Jefferson played it, early in his career, sort of a hybrid safety linebacker spot, and I think that his size sort of makes him suited for that position. I guess we'll see what the OU coaches think, but I think at least early on he might be a guy who played nickel or dime back.
We're now at about 11:10 or so in the morning, and Oklahoma has, by my count, 23 signees in. Still waiting on a couple guys, Jason, but a big fish already in the frying pan, if you will. Joe Mixon has signed from out in California. You wrote about Mixon for the Oklahoman and News OK on Wednesday on signing day, and about his potential as another Adrian Peterson type. The connection's pretty strong by some things that Mixon has done, but is there a chance that this guy could be the caliber of back we saw Adrian Peterson be for the Sooners?
Well, one thing I think is it's maybe unfair to assume that he's going to have the same immediate impact Adrian Peterson did. So few freshmen, a true freshman, can come right in and do that, especially at running back. But there are a lot of similarities. They run in a similar style. They're about the same size coming out of high school. And also Joe Mixon idolizes Adrian Peterson. He wore number 28 at the Army All-American game and committed at the Army All-American game just like Adrian Peterson did. It's a guy that he's looked up to for a long time, and I think he sees himself sort of coming in and maybe having a similar impact. But again, I stress that it's important to remember he's only a freshman, and very few people can be Adrian Peterson. But I do think there are some similarities.
Yeah, you hate to tag him with the Adrian Peterson tag because those guys don't come along very often. Jason, lastly, let's talk about this class and maybe impact. Who's going to be immediate when it comes to impact? Joe Mixon's a guy that probably plays as a freshman. But as you look at this list of guys, are there a couple that stand out to you as maybe the candidates to play the most significant impact on this team in the shortest amount of time?
One guy I look at is Dimitri Flowers. He's already on campus. A three-star athlete from San Antonio. He enrolled early. They view him very much in a Trey Millard type of. They view him playing a very much Trey Millard type of role, fullback, tight end. And we know Trey Millard came right in and made a quick impact with the Sooners, and obviously went on to become one of the better players on the team. And I think that he's a guy, with losing Trey Millard, you still have Aaron Ripkowski there, but I think there is a need for that, and I think Dimitri Flowers, particularly that he's already on campus and is going to go through spring ball, that would indicate to me that they expect him to play a pretty quick, immediate role with this team.
Well, Dimitri Flowers, maybe that next guy that we look at is that player that Bob Stoops can't say enough nice things about. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.